Hello everyone, Darren the Magic Ghostbuster here. So trying this from my laptop. So hopefully the sound and not the best camera quality I can see, but I couldn't connect my proper camera to it. But anyway, Ghostbusters 2 is 35 years old today, which is really cool. Ghostbusters 2 was the first film I saw in the cinema, so lots of happy memories of that. And um, this is one of the cinema cups, not my actual one from when I was a kid. That got scratched up a lot, but this is the cup they sold in my cinema that was full of Coke. And the reason I missed a lot of the film going to the toilet. But it was okay. My dad brought home a dodgy copy not long after, so that was cool. There is an alternate version, this from AMC in America. It's basically the same cup, except it's got AMC written on it. So after this, I'm going to be watching Ghostbusters 2, but I thought I'd just show you a little bit of merch, and I've got some questions that people have asked me, and that's about it, really. So I just want to show you a couple of non-Ghostbusters 2 things that have arrived. I will be doing some hello. I will be doing separate videos on this, but this recently arrived, the new Hasbro Plasma Series Ecto 1, the 1984 version, and you may well have seen that they have said they are, or the next HasLab, they basically teased it's going to be an Ecto 1, so I would assume it's the Ecto 1 that's going to be the actual size of the Plasma Series. Where can you buy that? Hasbro Pulse is the place to buy that at the moment. If they've sold out, I think it's just going to be down to your local collector's shop on that one. This is the other thing I got recently, which arrived today, actually. It's a salesman sample of real Ghostbusters birthday cards. So I will be doing a separate video on that as well coming up. But anyway, back to Ghostbusters 2. So, like I said, first film I saw in the cinema. This is one of my favourite collectibles. This is a Ghostbusters 2. So we can get that without the light shining on it. Ghostbusters 2 5 Alive. And this was my favourite drink when I was a kid. And you got these holograms. There was 5 to collect. This is still sealed. Went out date November 90. So, and then I've got another Ghostbusters 2 cup, which is very cool. And I remember having these as a kid, a Ghost in a Can, which I thought was a really funny way of just selling you an empty can of Coke, basically. Yeah, not much more I can say about it. There's loads of different versions of these. This was from Wimpy in the UK, but I know they've done Burger King, and then there's Ghostbusters 1 versions and Ghostbusters 2 versions from other countries. I've got one from Australia somewhere. One of my favourite things, which I haven't dug out, also is some Ghostbusters 2 Christmas crackers, which is really rare. Hi everyone. So Ghostbusters 2, 35 years old today, so very exciting. I remember, like I said, seeing that at the cinema when I was a kid. So I do have some questions that Ghostbusters Collector 8593 has asked. So I'll go through those. If you have any other questions, please put them in the chat. But so first thing he said was, did you see Ghostbusters 2 when it was originally released? What was your experience of seeing it for the first time? So like I said, I did see it when it was released. First film I ever saw in the cinema. Seeing it for the first time, absolutely amazing. I mean, I can't remember what hour old I would have been, 5 or 6, and yeah, absolutely exciting. I remember watching loads of little snippets on TV. I remember the courtroom scene where all the chairs start flying up, being on TV quite a bit, and the lead up to it was very exciting stuff back then. Dana's character in Ghostbusters 2 was originally going to be a different person. Do you think it would have been better to introduce a new character? It always seemed very unlikely to me that the same person would yet again be the centre of a supernatural problem. No, I don't have a problem with that being the same person at all. And I actually think it is likely that maybe there's something about her that does draw that stuff in. So that's what I think on that one. What's your favourite scene in the film? Oh, that's a hard one. Probably the courtroom scene. It's just so iconic. What's your favourite ghost in the film? Not an obvious choice. Always like the mint coat ghost. Always found that funny. It's the way the lady's walking along with it and it starts coming to life. And I did make a replica of that recently. Always wanted a toy of that as well. So what do you think of Randy Elderman's score compared to Elmer Bernstein's? I don't think you can compare them. That's like comparing Alien 1 to Alien 2. They're completely different styles. And I like both, and they both fit the both fit both films perfectly. So I think it's a really good score. Um, did you know that they were considering showing a scene with the Hindenburg? Yes, that was originally going to be instead of the Titanic scene. So yeah, and then they changed it to the sorry, they were originally gonna do Hindenburg thing, so they would have had the people coming out on fire and all that, and then they changed it to the Titanic. Titanic was probably the better choice, and maybe people on fire might have been a bit dark. Did Vigo create the mood slime, or did the mood slime awaken Vigo? Well, I think that depends on what part of the canon you listen to. Um, I always thought, for many years, my opinion on it was that it was the people that created the slime, from the negative energy that's even mentioned in the film, and then that's what gave Vigo his power. And it was all this negative energy that basically created that slime under New York. In more recent times, the video game had that. I'm trying to remember now. It's been a while since I played the video game, but the slime was basically created on Shandor Island by Ivo Shandor. That's not canon anymore, so I don't know if there's actually an official canon answer to that at the moment. Let me read one from here. What happened to the X-01A? I have no idea. Because there's always arguments about whether Ecto-1 and Ecto-1A are the same car or different cars. If you read the original Ghostbusters 2 novel, they are different cars. He bought like an upgraded one. They were different cars in real life. The Ecto-1A, I believe, was basically cut up for the Ecto they used in Afterlife. It's a shame. I think that was a missed opportunity in Frozen Empire. That maybe they could have answered that. But I think my theory of it now is, and my theory is changing this a little bit over the years. I think now we know the Ghostbusters. Obviously, after Ghostbusters 2, their business went down. So my theory is that they maybe started stripping back stuff on the Ecto-1 because of money issues, maybe selling bits off. So it basically reverted back to an Ecto-1. The license plate thing still doesn't really make sense because you wouldn't change the license plate. So it was always a license plate that made me think they were two separate cars, but there's not really any evidence that in universe now that they are two separate cars. So maybe we'll find that out in a series or something like that. But yes, you are right. They had made the X01A into the one from Afterlife. So the X01A doesn't exist as a original prop car anymore, which is kind of sad. I've got a couple more questions from Ghostbusters Collector 8593. Where did I get up to? Got up to the mood slime. In the original hints, can't talk. In the original film, there are hints of a romance between Egon and Janine. Do you think the filmmakers should have built upon this for the sequel instead of having Janine get together with Lewis? I'm not really sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure about that. I didn't really seem like Egon was very standoffish, obviously, towards her in the original. So I guess it wouldn't really have made sense for them to get together. And then I seem to remember reading that filmmakers were considering having the Ghostbusters step into the Vigo painting to defeat him in his realm at the climax of the film. Is this something that you would have preferred to see? I don't know if I would have preferred to see it, but it would have been cool to see. But because there was another one where I know they'd done some early test shots of making it more 3D, and they didn't really work special effects wise. So maybe it's the same reason they didn't go with that. So yeah, not sure about that. What's this? Inside it has the Ecto-1A. Oh, yep. Yep, the re-resurrecting the Ecto-1 video was very, very cool. Yeah, did a good job with that. Hi, David. Yeah, so yeah, I can't believe it's 35 years. Obviously, the original Ghostbusters was 40 years old. Just this time, just over a week ago now. So I was in New York for that. There's loads of videos that come in on New York. I've uploaded a couple already, which you may have seen. There's loads more to come on that. It's probably going to be like my next month's worth of videos is all going to be New York based. So I'm going to try and get in some merch videos just for anyone who's joined that hasn't seen. This is going to be an upcoming one soon. And like I said, they've teased that the next HasLab is going to be an Ecto, which I'm assuming is going to be 1/12 scale in line with the figures. Hopefully it is. Be disappointing if it's smaller. But Would you go for that? Obviously, I'm going to go for it. Won't have a choice. Hopefully, it's just not ridiculously expensive, but I see that being £400, £500 or dollars even. I mean, when you look at some of the prices, they've just done this Star Wars Cantina, which is, I mean, I like Star Wars. I don't collect Star Wars, but I think was that £500 slash dollars. I think so. Looking at that, I can see the Ecto one being a very similar price. Yeah, it's all getting expensive. And the trouble with the bigger things like that is, where do you put them? Because I mean, that's going to be a fairly big Ecto one. But won't be able to say no to it because I have to have it. But yeah, yeah, not a lot more to say really about Ghostbusters 2. Like I say, it's the first film I saw at the cinema. So it's always had a bit of a soft spot for me. What games do you play? I quite like immersive horror games. So Resident Evil. I've really enjoyed the remakes. Another favourite of mine is Alien Isolation, which I think is a great game. And then sometimes I like playing just games that you can just not really think about too much, like Pac-Man. I play Pac-Man a lot. I like some racing games. I've been going back recently and playing this. It's quite an old game now. I think it's from the Xbox 360 days, called Split Second, which is quite fun. Press buttons and just loads of stuff blows up and destroys your opponents ahead, which is kind of cool. But always been pretty good at Pac-Man, so that's a favourite. And I guess Pac-Man was a Ghostbuster himself, eating them, so that was cool. Yeah, and like I say, Resident Evil's a favourite. There's this other one I play. What's that? Limbo was another one I've been playing again recently, which is like a 2D platformer thing. It's quite immersive. Yeah. Do you know what Theme Park Tycoon 2 is? Yes, I do. Never played it, but I do know what it is. I think the closest I've played to that was one of the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World games where you make your own dinosaur park. Yeah, so I've played that. But yeah, never played the Tycoon. I'm making a Ghostbusters movie. Oh, cool. Oh, you'll have to do a video on that so we can all see it. Yeah, stuff like that's always very, very cool. Let me just make sure I haven't missed any questions. Just going to scroll up. It's been quite hectic lately, obviously going to New York and all that sort of stuff. So, High Brick TV. Yeah, so that's been quite crazy. So I do try and respond to every comment I get on a video, even if it's not really a comment that requires a response. I'll always try and like it, but I'm feeling I might have missed some over the last week because it's been quite crazy with things. And then I've done a couple of radio interviews and a couple more coming up as well for the Guinness World Record thing, so that's been kind of cool. Yeah, so it's just been a bit crazy over here. But you just got to Spook Central. Very cool. We actually filmed a scene over there. We filmed the scene of Lewis ringing out Spook Central and then going over the wall, which I haven't put on YouTube yet. It has gone on my Facebook, Magic Ghostbuster Facebook, which was fun. And so 4 of us from our group did that whilst we were over there. And the doorman let us actually start from the inside of the building, which is really kind of cool. So we gave him a little tip for that, obviously. I'm a big fan. I have over 300 of my Ghostbusters collection. That's very, very cool. Do you have a favourite? Which is always a tough question, I find. People ask me that all the time, and it gets a very hard question to answer. But yeah, 300 is a very, very decent amount of Ghostbusters items. Just make sure I haven't missed anything else. Yep, no, I think I'm all caught up on questions. So if you have any other questions, please put them in. Yes. Yes, it's mostly my afterlife poster from the theatre. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, I love like posters where they actually come from the cinema. That's very cool. I like the stuff like that where it's not just a thing you can go into a local toy shop and buy. I love like the more obscure stuff, which is always very cool. About to make a video on the movie ride. Very cool. Definitely look out for that. That should be very cool to see. So, is anyone watching Ghostbusters 2 tonight? Is the important question. Being 35 years old, that is pretty much my plan. Once I finish this video, I'm going to start dinner and we're going to watch Ghostbusters 2. Yep, you are excellent. Good. And did you go to New York for Ghostbusters Day? I guess is the other question. I've done a video on that, but that was amazing in itself. So we went over there for a few days. We did quite a lot of locations. So we've Richard and Simon were both tracking the steps, and they estimate we did about 50 miles over the time we were there, which is probably right because my quads are absolutely killing. I've pulled them, so actually like moving is not the easiest thing at the moment, but I've got so much editing and stuff to catch up on that, so can still do stuff, so that's not a problem. But sadly, no, that's a shame. It was absolutely amazing over there. Have you got the real Ghostbusters jigsaw puzzles? I do have some. They're not accessible. I don't know where they are, and I can't remember off the top of my head how many I have. Might be no, not up there. I think they're behind stuff at the moment. I know I've definitely got a few, but I can't remember how many. So I'm gonna have to check because I can't even remember how many they made off the top of my head actually. But I know I've definitely got some real Ghostbusters jigsaw puzzles. I've got a Ghostbusters. No, that's not it up there. They've got a Ghostbusters 2, Chris. I've got a Ghostbusters 2 jigsaw puzzle. I've definitely got some from the original film. Whether I've got all of them or not, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. But definitely got some. Do you have some yourself? Let me know. The thing is, I bought all these jigsaw. I'm not really. My mum used to love doing jigsaw puzzles. She would do all the 1,000-piece ones. She's done loads of them. I've never really been into jigsaw puzzles massively. So all the jigsaw puzzles I've got, I've never actually done. So, and I'm a bit scared to because I'm worried I'll start them and then there'll be a piece missing, which would be really, really annoying. So I'd rather just not know. But yeah, some of them have some really cool artwork. Really cool artwork. Yes, I have one which was really hard to find. Oh, very cool. Can you describe what it is? Just so I can try and picture. Saying that, I don't think some of them are that easy to describe. I mean, most of them are just Ghostbusters busting ghosts. But yeah, it's funny. I think things like that, they are all quite hard to find. They don't come up very often. But some of them never really fetch. Hello, Todo from Wish. Yeah, some of them don't fetch high prices, but it's weird. There is some Ghostbusters merch that really hard to find. One example is this Slimer lamp. Not even that great a bit of merch, if I'm honest. And I did a Christmas list and then didn't get it. I've got lots of other Ghostbusters stuff. This is a few years ago now, and suddenly it just disappeared off Amazon everywhere. Couldn't find it. Spent a couple of years looking for that. When I got it, I think I paid like £5 for it. It's like really hard to find, but just doesn't fetch a lot of money, which is weird. Some stuff is like that. Yeah, maybe I'll have to check to see what jigsaw puzzles I actually have and start trying to get the rest if I do indeed need any more. Yeah, but it had Slimer in the middle and some of the Ghostbusters chasing ghosts. Okay. Hello, Cadence and family. Yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you if I've got that or not. So, yeah, too hard to keep track of nowadays. Could say I got too much, but I disagree with that. But yeah, Ghostbusters Day itself was absolutely amazing. I mean, I think the Buffalo Ghostbusters who organised it estimated there was over 1,000 people there. I reckon it was a 1,500 easily. I mean, um, there's a bit in the video I did on Ghostbusters Day where I walked down the line, and this was 3 hours into the official start time. So it officially started at 12. A lot of people were there from 11. We got there like really early. We got there about 9. Get some photos outside the firehouse before everyone else arrived. Then we went for breakfast at this really great cafe around the corner. But yeah, even after 3 hours, the line, it sort of snaked around a couple of times and then went all the way down the side of the firehouse, and it was still all the way to the end, up to where that cafe was after 3 hours. And I'm actually surprised because they put up now that you can order some of the stuff from Ghostbusters Day, like the coin, because they have some left, some of the mystery autographs. There was a few other things they had left, I think. I'm surprised they had anything left, if I'm completely honest. It was so busy, but it was so good as well. Like, loads and loads of people coming over, saying hello. Yeah, it was absolutely great. I would definitely go again. I don't know if I'd go every year. Obviously, going to New York is quite expensive, but I would definitely go to Ghostbusters Day again, maybe for the 45th or 50th. Maybe before then. We'll have to wait and see what happens on that. But if you can ever get to a Ghostbusters Day, I highly recommend it. It was absolutely amazing. I would assume that because obviously the 40th was massive, so I imagine the next couple of years will not be quite as big as that, but I'm sure they'll still make it awesome. So yeah, if you can go, highly recommend it. Oh, you saw me at Ghostbusters Day. Excellent. So I can't really see. It's hard for me to see profile pictures on here, so it's hard to. So I can't really see. Put a face to anyone. Uh, they're like really, really tiny. I don't want to start clicking buttons in case I just shut everything off by mistake. Because I'm not the best with technology. Yeah, so I'm doing this on my laptop, so hopefully the audio's okay. I did try figuring out how to do this with my proper camera. I couldn't figure that out, so I might try that for future live streams if I do them. But did you enjoy Ghostbusters Day? I mean, I had an amazing time. All my friends had an amazing time. Yeah, it's hard to put into words how great it was. And when we were over there, we did manage to get some merch in other places. Went into the Toys R Us, got a couple of things that weren't available in the UK, and we did find some popcorn buckets in AMC. No, was it AMC? No, it was Regal Cinema. We got a popcorn bucket and a cup because we didn't get a lot over here either, and we managed to get a couple of little plush bag clips, and that was from AMC. But there wasn't a lot about. But I think the downside was obviously it was the tail end of the Frozen Empire promotion, so there wasn't a lot left. But we managed to get some stuff, which was cool. My friends really wanted to get the mini containment unit mystery things. I actually imported a box of those, so I didn't need any. But I was really hoping my friends would find them. And GameStop online said they all had them, but they didn't. One time I went to a game shop and there was Ghostbusters plushes. They were small and they said cost £20 each. But when I paid for it, I know exactly which ones you mean. There, they did Pterodog, Muncher, Slimer, and Stay Puft, or was it Mini Puft? Can't remember which version. Yes, I think I bought them originally when because £20 was way over the price for those. For anyone who doesn't know what they are, I don't have any to hand, but they were probably about that big. And they were like bag clip type plushes. And Game here in the UK, which is very similar to GameStop if you're in America, was selling them at £20 each, which was absolutely crazy. I think I bought mine online, and I think I paid about £8 each when they come out. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, Game. I remember going into a game and they had a couple left in my local game. One was priced up at 49p, and then I think there was a couple others priced up at £20. So I just checked. I think I got 3 or 4 49p, and I used them as gifts at some of the parties I've done. Yeah, but Game. I used to love Game, but I think it's gone a bit downhill nowadays. They've started moving them into Sports Direct stores, and I know they're getting rid of pre-owned games now. They're not taking, or I know that's their plan. I don't know if they've started that yet, but yeah, it's a shame. Just uploading the video. It's on my short. I will check that out once I've finished this stream, and encourage everyone else to do so. Look forward to seeing that. Yeah, stuff like that's really, really cool. But yeah, so just trying to think of other stuff to say about Ghostbusters 2 for anyone who has joined halfway through. Let me just show off some of this merch again quickly that I have here. So these were the cups that were available in the cinemas here in the UK. And yeah, it doesn't look big now, but it was very big to me when I was younger. And then got the old Ghost in a Can. And actually, a funny story about these was we never opened our Ghost in the Cans. Again, this isn't one of my original ones. I don't know what happened to my original one. But mine and my brother's bedroom, well, we had the door to the attic, and I remember every now and again, I think you get sort of wind blowing through it, and it make this weird like woo noise. And I remember once we found one of these open, and we don't know who opened it. And yeah, and I think we just thought that that wind noise was the ghost, which is funny. But yeah, this is one of my favourite pieces of merch, Ghostbusters 2, with the hologram. There was 5 to collect, and this is still sealed. And I love this drink. I really wish they still made it. It was my absolute favourite. This is still sealed. So every now and again, I wonder, what does it taste like nowadays? But I'm never going to try. One thing I do have, this is completely not Ghostbusters related, but I do have, it's almost 10 years old, I think, next month, a can of cherry Coke. And it's in one of those funky old style cans. And I'm thinking for its 10th anniversary, I might open that. That was my son. We had a great time. Thank you for the patch. He really appreciates it. No problem at all. I'm really glad he appreciated it. I wish I bought more patches with me actually as well. Yeah, so many people wanted patches. I'm planning on doing a Vigo patch soon. So for anyone who doesn't know, I do cosplay as Vigo, which I've only really been doing that about a year. My friends are Southend on Sea Ghostbusters. If you don't know them, obviously check out the Facebook page. When I got my long hair from lockdown, so I used to have short hair. They kept saying you should do Vigo, so eventually I just did it. Now I am like no expert when it comes to sewing or any of that sort of stuff. I was just kind of making up techniques as I went along, and I think I did a pretty good job, to be fair. Funnily enough, a lot of people at Ghostbusters Day recognise me as Vigo, and I think there's a bit of disappointment I didn't bring the costume. But there's quite a bit of vinyl in it to help it keep its shape, and it was so hot over there that I just don't think I could have survived in that Vigo costume, although it would have been very cool. Although I think the other thing is, if I'd worn that, I think so many people probably would have wanted pictures of Vigo that it might not have been able to have done much else. But yeah, and when we do the Vigo, we do this prank, which is really fun, where we have a banner of like one of those roller banners of Vigo. I'll stand behind it. 2 of the Ghostbusters will say, "Come and have a picture with Lord Vigo." They stand in front of it. As they're having their photo taken, they lower the banner, and then I'll jump out and scare them, which is always really, really fun. Yeah, so I'm planning on doing a Vigo patch. If you don't know my Vigo page, it's called Vigo the Cosplayfian on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm trying to make that a bit more Grumpy Skeletor inspired. So if you know Grumpy Skeletor from He-Man, so it's not going to be, there's going to be a few things on it that might not be quite kid appropriate. So maybe check things before you let your kids look at that sort of stuff. But yeah, got some funny memes and things planned for that. And hello, Ed. Are you coming to LFCC? And one change in my Vigo that I've done very recently is my hair. Don't get on with wigs. And obviously I've got dark hair. So I've tried a few ways to make it blonde. I've tried a couple of things. I found this blonde spray, and it's like party spray. So many years ago when I had shorter hair, I did green hairspray, and it came out really, really good. So I found this blonde one. I thought pretty much the same stuff, it didn't come out very good. It kind of just made me look dark gingery. Um, Also making Vigo and printing the parts out of. Oh, awesome! I look forward to seeing that. Got to go for dinner. Okay, I'll see you soon, Edwin. Yeah, sorry, where was I? Yes, so that didn't really work. Made me look dark gingery. So then I bought this. It was quite pricey. It was this root cover-up stuff for people that bleach their hair, and then they get the dark roots. It was designed to cover up that, and so I bought that, and I'm thinking, well, that's got to do the job, and that didn't really work either. So what I did was I bought white hairspray, like party hairspray, sprayed that on first, and then the blonde, and then that's come out pretty good. So that's what I'm going to do when I'm Vigo in the future. So, and I put a lot of pictures now up of me like that. So again, Vigo the Cosplayfian, and I think that's made such a big difference to the way it looks. Just changing the hair color has almost, took it from great to, I'm not going to use the word perfect, but much better. So we did a big photo shoot with that recently. Done some videos. Did for Ghostbusters Day. Done a video of Vigo burning the Ghostbusters patch, which I think might have upset a couple of people. But he's Vigo. What did you expect? I love being Vigo because you get to be a bit mean to people, and get away with it, which is really great. But yeah, looking forward to doing that. So we're going to be at the London Film Comic Con again, which is in 3 weeks, I think. I think it's 3 weeks. Can't remember now. And I think my original plan the first year was to do like a day as myself, Ghostbusters flight suit, and then Vigo. But I think I might just be Vigo for all of it because it's too much fun. And there's so many Ghostbusters around, so someone's got to take them on, knock them down. But so again, Ghostbusters 2 is 35 years old, which is mind-blowing. Just thinking back, really, seeing it at the cinema, and then I think I mentioned earlier, so drinking lots of Coke, spending a lot of time in the cinema, and then my dad brought home a dodgy VHS of it after that, so we managed to watch it on VHS quite a lot, and we wore that tape out until it came out officially. And it's funny thinking to how things were back then. I mean, like if you look at Frozen Empire, which came out in March, and then before that even ended in the cinema, it's out on streaming, and then it's out on DVD and Blu-ray. I think it's next week. I think it's either next week or the week after. It come out so quick. Whereas back then, I mean, Ghostbusters 2, films like that would take 6 months or a year to come out for rental and then to buy. It took so long, and I think, like, in a way, it's nice nowadays you get the thing sooner. I feel like back then it felt like more of an event. It felt more special because you had to wait so much longer for these things to come out. I mean, nowadays it's quite common for some films to come out on both at the same time, streaming and the cinema, which I never really got from a business point of view how that really works. Because I always think it's better to, because I mean, if you think about it, one of the good things about, well, not for us, for the people that make money out of films, is they make money at selling us the same product over and over and over. They sell it to us with a cinema ticket, and then they sell it to us as a, renting, whether that was on a whole VHS rental, DVD rental, streaming rental. And then they sell it to us again on videotape or DVD, Blu-ray, download. And then they sell it to the TV stations on Netflix. So basically, they're making money over and over and over and over and over. So I built a Ghosts Temple in the theme park tycoon. Oh, awesome. I hope you do a video on that as well. And I love Ghostbusters. Absolutely. Ghostbusters is the best. Lost my train of thought again. I should probably finish what I'm talking about before reading things. So that's a sign of getting old, where things just completely vanish out your head. Yes, talking about how long things took. And yes, so they said it's the same thing over and over and over. And when you think those older films, like the original Ghostbusters, I mean, people like me who were around in the early days bought it on VHS. They bought it again on DVD, probably about 10 times with different special editions, then Blu-ray, and then 4K and all those sort of things. And it got me thinking actually a while back because obviously with Frozen Empire, a lot of people were making a big thing about the box office and all this sort of stuff. And I find it funny that when we talk about the highest grossing film, which is, I think it's Avatar. I think it was Avengers Endgame, and I think Avatar retook it over, if I remember right. But people only ever focus on the box office, and I always found that a bit odd because films make so much more money in other ways. Selling obviously the rights to a TV station or Netflix or Amazon, any of those sort of things. And then of course there's all the DVD sales, all the Blu-ray sales, all the VHS sales if it's old enough. And I did try looking at what was the most money making film of all time when you consider everything, because to me that is really more of a tells you more than just the box office. Because like Avatar obviously did amazing at the box office, but I never really meet people that ever really talk about it like it was a great I thought it was a very average sci-fi film with amazing special effects. I mean, I've never seen anything like it better in 3D. Whereas there's other franchises like Star Wars, Harry Potter, where you get people who've never seen them, but they know who Darth Vader is. They know what Hogwarts is, and I don't really think the same can be said for Avatar, even though it's the biggest film of all time. And I think that's because Avatar did amazing at the cinema. I'm sure it did great on DVD, but I think things like Star Wars and Harry Potter and all those have probably done even better. So, what is the actual most money-making film of all time? If any of what I said just made sense. I don't know if it did. But anyway, so I'm going to clock off very shortly. Thank you for watching. So just coming up, I've got loads of videos coming up on the New York trip. So I'm trying to think what I've got now. We all did stuff where we rang at Spook Central, screaming there's a bear in my apartment, jumping over the wall. Funny thing about that wall, that drop is bigger than you'd think. And no one told the next person. So you climbing over that wall and you're sort of thinking, oh dear. Not dangerous height, but higher than you would have liked. So we've got videos on that coming up. I need to get a lot of this stuff uploaded and scheduled so I can then start on just this massive video of the entire New York trip, which I'm really looking forward to, just because I'm running out of room on my laptop. Would you mind? And it's just someone online. Can you just tell me what the audio is like on this, just so I know for future reference, really? Because this is just using my laptop microphone. Someone wouldn't mind. So there's that. I'm going to do a video on all the merch I got whilst I was over there. Then there's videos on this coming up. I'm going to do another video on this thing, which if you didn't see earlier, is a salesman sample book of Real Ghostbusters birthday cards, which literally arrived this morning. But I think the next month is mostly going to be New York related videos, but we'll try and get a few other bits in there. Also, I've got I did an unboxing of my Guinness World Record certificate, so might put that up as well. Hint: never say no when ghosts are asked if you're a god in Theme Park Tycoon 2. Well, I'm Vigo, so I am a god. Talking of Vigo, I just had this funny idea yesterday, but I don't know if I'll do it. Because we've got all the elections coming up in the UK, and obviously there's elections coming up in America. I just had this idea of doing like some sort of party political broadcast for the Carpathian Party. Vote for Vigo. Could be kind of funny. Don't know if I'll get around to that or not, but it was just an idea that popped into my head. If you don't follow me on Facebook or Instagram, there's the Magic Ghostbuster. Make sure you follow that. And also Vigo the Cosplayfian. Just a reminder that is a bit Grumpy Skeletor inspired. So if you're going to show your kids that one, just check the stuff first, because most of it's suitable, but there are a couple of things. There's one where I'm holding a very special version of a Crunch bar saying "You Ghostbusters earn it." That one's not for your kids. So you be the judge of that, basically. But anyway, so are you going to watch the video? Yes, I am certainly going to watch that video. As soon as I've finished this live stream, I am going to watch that video. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Oh, thank you, David. I'm glad to hear that the audio is very good. So yeah, I did try setting this up with my proper camera, but I had no luck. So, yeah, glad to hear that that is working. But yeah, I'm gonna watch your video as soon as I've done this. I look forward to seeing that. But yes, yeah, I think that is everything I can say about Ghostbusters 2 for the moment. I'm gonna start dinner and start watching it. But thank you to everyone. So let me just check who's commented. So sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this. Alejandro. I hope I pronounced that right. JR Hand. Thank you for watching. Brick TV, thank you for watching. You comment on a lot of my stuff. Todo from Wish, thank you for watching. Cadus and family, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Edwin, thank you for watching. David Rowe, thank you for watching. You've been one of my longest supporters on my channel and obviously helped me out with some merch. So yeah, you've definitely ticked off something on the old Guinness World Record list for me. So thank you. Yes, so look forward to seeing you in future videos. Might do another live stream at some point. I'm going to see if I can set up my proper camera, but I'm glad to hear the audio is good as well. But anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. And as always, keep on busting.